I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome to Little America. We're so excited to get started today with grand prize winners. I am your host, Kay Montgomery. On my illustrious panel today, one man doing the work of many, Mr. Benjamin Schnau.
Stop it. Come on. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm really excited. Oh my God.
We're so excited to have you.
God.
Okay, so we know Little America is all about immigrant stories.
Right.
You guys don't know, but Ben is a German immigrant. How long have you been in America?
I came 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys changed my life. Seriously. For the better.
Awesome. Well, we're glad it was for the better.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
We're excited to get your perspective today on a lot of these stories. So we're going to start today with grand prize winners. We're talking about the mom, and her family of two kids, boy and a girl. Well, we start off with the husband, and then eventually...
Right. That was like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was like, what damn.
That was devastating.
I was mad at him.
Yeah.
Like, how can you do that?
So, it's her and the two kids.
Right.
For my money, she is the best mom I've ever seen.
Oh,
I love her. She's my new Claire Huxtable. Did you ever watch The Cosby Show?
Of course. That was huge in Germany. The Cosby Show.
Yeah,
oh my God, it was massive.
So Claire Huxtable was like my favorite TV mom. And I feel like I is coming in at a close second.
Right. I mean, I saw her and the way how she was behaving, and then we always have these milliseconds where we see her past, and then you understand even more why she is the way she is. And I appreciate it so much, but then you also you see what's happening with every child at some point, right? You get into puberty, and then you just want to have your own mind and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And I felt so sad for her because she didn't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
She wanted to make it right, but she couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, it's so tough.
Oh.
So I love the kind of mom she is because she's shrewd, but she's kind, but she's also caring.
Yeah.
Just a few of the things I wanted to highlight.
Right.
I watched it, and then I told my daughter, oh my gosh, you got to watch this. It's so great. The mom in here, she takes her own snacks. They go on this cruise. She takes a picture of a picture because she's going to buy the $10 picture. She makes them kiss her cheeks for the picture.
Right.
She says she's lucky. My daughter was like, after the first thing, my daughter's like, oh my gosh, she is you. When I tell you 100%, I bring my own snacks to the movie. I used to do that all the time. My kids were younger.
Right.
Every time we go to Disneyland, I never buy the picture. I take a picture of the picture.
I do the same.
Oh my gosh. And I say to them all the time, if there's ever an opportunity to win something, I go, we should enter because I'm lucky. I say that all the time to them. Your mom is lucky. I'm super lucky.
Right.
So at every stand, I was like, I love this woman.
Right. But what is your daughter feeling about that? When she saw that and she reminded you of you?
Yes.
How did you? How?
She thought it was hilarious because she was just like, I can't believe somebody is just like you and does like.
So she appreciates even how you are with her.
I don't know.
She loves that.
I don't know if she loves it and appreciates it, but it was just funny to see somebody else's mom do it. Like anytime she sees like somebody else's mom do the same thing I do, I do, she thinks that's hilarious. She's just kind of like, oh, so you're not as weird as I thought you were, kind of a deal.
I think I love that, to be honest, right? I mean, I can tell that. I talk about that openly. I lost my mom very young when I was 21, right?
I did not know that.
And I think I never mentioned that to you.
Did you have that kind of mom? Was she? What type of mom did you have?
I had a very close relationship. I was this typical boy, very close to my mom. Always going to my mom when I had some questions or needed advice or something like that, right? And my mom was always she was basically raising me up. She was basically the person that I am today. It's because of her, and I'm really thankful for that. And now seeing these kind of situations, I kind of understand the kids a little bit because I remember when I was a boy, like 13, 14, and my mom wanted to just drop me off somewhere, and my mom was, hey, give me a hug. And I said, oh, Mom, my friend's already outside. I can't, I'm sorry, but I would. But, I felt that. I definitely felt the same thing. But now I have to say, you know what? I miss that now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But you said something about her that really attests to what a great mom she was, that she was a confidant to you because you said, I would want to ask her about things and talk to her about things.
Oh, she was my best friend.
See, and that's huge.
Oh,
I feel like
huge,
that's a real big deal because not everyone has that kind of relationship.
And you know what? When I watched this episode specifically, and with my background and with my mom and what happened in my life, I see a lot of families, seriously, and they're fighting. The kids fighting with the mom, with the dad. The families have arguments and stuff like that. I was like, guys, seriously? you don't even know what you have. You should be grateful for having each other.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
just,
true.
I mean, of course, we always have problems in the world or in the families. There's not always everything is correct or right or whatever. But you can always make it work, and you should not really fight over stuff that crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And I see that every time, though.
I think she lucked out though, because her kids were really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could see. I like that they built the flashbacks in. In the beginning, I was like, what are the flashbacks about? Like,
Yeah,
what is this
yeah.
going to lead
Yeah.
to? But it was interesting because it really gave you context, and you really realized like
Yeah.
why she was the kind of mom that she was. You know, she had a lot of fear and abandonment issues.
For sure. I mean, if I understood correctly, her parents sold her or had to give her away.
Had
Let
to
me put it
give her
that way.
away.
Because they couldn't afford a good life for her. I'm
Right.
assuming,
And
right?
at that point, they said, we've had her for 2 years. She looked
Yeah.
like she was probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So that probably wasn't the first family she had been with.
That's right.
Even though she was calling, the mom and dad.
Exactly.
So it felt like she had maybe had to leave someone a couple times.
That's right.
So I just felt,
It's tough.
You
That's
know,
tough.
for
And
her.
then also seeing the husband leaving her.
yes.
I was like, damn. At the very beginning, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see that coming. You see the guy with the camera in the hospital room. She's just like giving birth to the daughter.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right? He's doing a video and everything. So I was, all right, that looks like the perfect family. And then
But
all of a
he-
sudden, boom.
No, but he was kind of checked out. Like he gave the son the camera, like take the thing, and he walked out with the phone.
Oh, that's a good
And then
one.
when she was playing with them in the
Yeah.
kitchen, he went and got a beer and walked out.
That's true.
It seemed like it was them three.
So you saw
all
that
the
already
time.
in the hospital
Yeah,
room.
I was like,
Interesting. I did not.
I think
didn't
they're
see
trying
that.
to show us something with these quick glimpses of the dad.
True. Very good
Yeah.
point with the phone. So the phone, or what he had to do with the phone, was more important than the family. That's a very good point.
Your baby
Yeah, that's
just
right.
was born. You hand the camera
Yeah.
to your little kid and say, I got to go out and take this
Yeah,
call.
you're right. That's a good point. So and from that point of view, I understand even more why she behaves that way. The mom.
Yeah.
Maybe for some people it's a little over the top, maybe too much, doing all these things.
You think so? Oh my gosh, I just thought she was the perfect. Listen, I have had the experience before of like decorating.
Right.
Like decorating an area and being like, let's pretend like we're on a vacation, or let's pretend like we're in a Hawaii.
You did that?
Yes.
You're kidding.
I was such a good mom when my kids were younger. Now I'm a trash mom because they're older and they don't like to do anything fun anymore. When I watched it twice, I watched it one by myself, and then I said to my husband, "You got to watch this. This mom is awesome in here. I love this show." And so I was like, "Isn't she great?" And he was like, "Babe, she is like you a lot. Like you're like her a lot. Like especially on this part because
Right.
like there is a certain excitement and imagination that it takes to be a mom of young kids.
Sure.
And that portion of like mothering is super fun for me. Some people there are different stages of mothering.
Yeah.
A lot of people like the stage when they're like little babies, and then
Yeah.
when they're toddlers, it's not too much fun. But once they're like school age kids, a baby, I could leave a baby. Like,
Exactly.
babies are
as
super
long as they're
boring.
crying, I don't want to deal with that.
They're so boring. Babies are so boring. Luckily, I got babies that weren't boring. They're pretty entertaining, but babies
Right.
are tough. But so I had a lot of fun when my kids were
Right.
that still fun age where you could, imagine with them and pretend with them and
Yeah.
create things. And, for them to come in and see it decorated like Hawaii, and they were like, oh, they were so excited.
So you made your own kitchen look like
Yay!
Hawaii. You did kind of like.
Yes, I've done.
That's awesome.
I've done stuff like that a ton.
Wow, that's
But now, 15 and 12, they ain't impressed by stuff like that. No
I never had Hawaii in my kitchen as a child.
They're not.
So your kids are blessed.
You
I
gotta
love that.
come up with different ways
But-
to entertain them.
But I totally appreciate that, and what you did with your kids. I think that's great, and what we see on the episode. But then I also have a millisecond when I see the kids, and then I'm trying to put myself into their shoes, and then I feel like, seriously, I have to do that for a minute,
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I also understand if some people might say, hey, you know what, it maybe is a little too much, because the kids also have to kind of develop their own kind of like,
Yeah.
breaking out and just moving on with their own lives as well at some point. And if maybe
Right.
the family is like keeping them too much or too close, kids cannot develop that.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, I don't want to, you're still great.
No.
You're still great. But you know what I'm saying, right?
No,
It's like,
you could see it when they get older.
Yeah.
Because she's in the little. They're on the cruise.
Yeah.
She's watching the video of
Right.
ice calving, and of course it's just an allegory for her kids because they're calving, right? Her kids are calving.
was a
They're
metaphor,
breaking
right?
away. They're breaking away from the giant glacier of her.
Right.
And so it's interesting because as a school counselor, I mean, I've studied kid development, child development for forever.
Oh, you
right,
did?
Right?
Oh, nice.
So I have a bachelor's degree in human development, and my master's degree is in school counseling. So like the
Wow.
way that children develop, like this is totally normal, right? Her son like not wanting to hang out with her, the daughter wanting to go to
Yeah.
the teen club, like that's completely normal. And her kids were really, I thought, really good kids.
Very well behaved. Oh my God, for sure.
But because of the context for her and her abandonment issues, them calving,
Yeah.
growing up and needing to create their own identities
Yeah.
and to be away, and we could just see a little glimpse of that in
Yeah,
the teen
for sure.
club was much more difficult for her than I think it would be for a normal parent.
It was. I mean, especially, I think she realized at some point, we have that one scene when she comes back into the hotel room and she's having breakfast for everybody right in the morning, and they're already gone.
They're gone.
And that was so heartbreaking for
It
me.
was.
I was like, damn, she prepared breakfast for everybody. Now they're gone. And then I realized, wait a minute. I think she was also trying, for her kids was her life, or is her life, right? And I
Right.
think at that point she realized for the very first time, wow, I think I have to let go. But if I do that, what is happening to me?
Right.
And I felt even lonely for her. Did you
Yes.
feel that?
I
felt lonely
did.
for her watching her.
I felt
I was
she
like,
did a brilliant job
that
of
was
that.
that was the great directing about this episode. We're going to talk about the director in a minute anyway, but that was so lovely created that I even felt the loneliness in the
Yes.
scene. Right? I was that crazy.
Yes. I mean, when she sings at karaoke and
Oh
she's
my
just
God.
crying.
What a scene. What a scene.
And just,
What a scene.
it's such a long, sad day without her kids,
I
right?
know.
Like she tries to get drunk, but she can't really drink. She tells them to put ginger ale in wine. I don't drink,
was-
but is that? I thought
That was
that
funny,
has
though.
got to be hilarious.
That
Who
was
puts
funny.
ginger ale in wine?
I
Like
thought it
what
was
is
funny.
happening?
That was funny.
Like she really, she was trying to find
Yeah.
fun things to do, trying to bet because
Yeah.
she was lucky, wasn't really fun.
Right.
Trying to drink, not really fun.
Yeah.
Tried to do karaoke, cried.
I know, but I just wanted to ask you something because you mentioned that. I mean, you're born and raised in the U.S. I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that means you were always kind of in your own home country, let's say.
That's right.
And she was clearly someone who came to America at some point. I mean,
That's
that's what the
true.
show is all about.
That's right.
So we talked a lot about this mom perspective. So she
Right. Mm-hmm.
raising her kids by herself. Husband went off, is gone, whatever.
Yeah.
But what I also realized, we have that one scene on the cruise ship where they are
Yes.
sitting at the table with the, hey, how's it going with the American from the South, right? Do you want to have some, And she was
I
like,
love the accent you just put on, by the way.
I
Let me
could do
just
that,
say.
right? Ryan, is that good? Is that from the South? I'm from Texas.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you so much. Y'all,
I love it.
listen to me.
Yeah, and how she was just like, I don't want to talk to these people.
Exactly. So
Tell them I don't speak
So-
English.
for me, it was like she never. For me, that just showed me she never really accepted or was trying to integrate into this new society or community.
She
was,
didn't have to. Look at where she worked, right?
That's true.
Everybody there was Asian. She was still speaking her
know.
language. She didn't have to.
That's
really.
true. But the thing is, from my point of view now, because you mentioned it already, I'm from Germany originally, coming to the US 2 years ago. I, on purpose, was not I'm still not trying, and no offense to my German people, I love you guys, but I'm not trying to just hang around German people, to be honest. And I do that on purpose because I feel like, hey, if you come to a new country, you have to understand how the country works, and you have to culturally understand how people do things. And you can just do and learn that by spending time with people who basically got born and raised in this country. How can you just be with your German people all the time? You know what I mean? And she did that all her life. So I'm like, she was even making it difficult for herself by not just hanging around, like American people, maybe even more. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
I
but
think
I mean that's not always easy. American people aren't always welcoming. They don't
true.
always understand.
yeah, I mean, but the people from the South were very welcoming. They offered her steak and
The shrimp guy, when she said everyone here is so sad, and he said everyone is sad everywhere, but here there's all you can eat shrimp. I was like, a quote for your life.
I love that though.
For your
I love that
life.
though. But you know what I'm saying though,
No,
right?
that's a good
So,
point. I hadn't really thought about that. Maybe if she had tried to, and hopefully maybe moving forward, she would try to
Maybe-
carve out her own personality, meet people outside of just the kids.
That's so true. And I think part of this episode was also for her to open up a little more, because we see that towards the end of the episode, she is starting to talk to Americans even more, even to the guy on the table. She says something to him. At the beginning, she was just trying to pretend, I'm not English, no English. no
Yeah,
English."
I thought that was interesting too. I was like, oh,
It
she's
was
busting
interesting.
her cover. She's talking to him.
But it was a huge sign for me. There was like wow, she definitely doesn't want to be with these people. Right? I mean, maybe it would have been much easier for her or the family.
Well, I don't know. I'm antisocial too. If I would have gotten, that's why I've only gone
Are
to
you really?
That's
No.
why I've only gone to Benihana once.
Are you really?
Because I was so excited to go to Benihana. Because I knew they did a bunch of like flips and tricks. And then once we got there, my husband was like, "Oh, we can sit right here." I go, "Where's a table?" He goes, "There isn't a table. We sit here." I go, "Next to strangers?" He's like, "Yeah, that's how you eat at Benihana. You have to sit next to people you don't know."
So you went home.
Oh, I didn't like that. I stayed because I want to go to Benihana. But after that, I'll never go back. I don't want to sit with strangers.
Interesting. But because she's good people.
I don't want to sit with strangers. I don't know them. So when she said, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't know these people. I came to hang out with my family. I came to be with my family.
So you even said no English?
Like,
you said no English at the table? Did you say like, no English?
I couldn't get away with it. If only I had thought of it.
I like, that would be funny.
But a part of me understood that.
That's interesting though.
But you're right. The more closed off you are, the lonelier you're going to be.
I totally believe that.
So I agree with your point. I
totally
agree. I think you made a very good point that I had not considered at all before.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, but honestly, I think we also have people. I mean, I remember we did a show and people were watching from Sweden, from all around the world. I mean, AfterBuzz is watched all around the world, right? So if you guys watch right now, it would be great to also listen to people's opinion about that, seriously. Because I feel like, and that's the beauty about America, and I can say that as a foreigner or immigrant into this country, America is basically all about foreigners and immigrants anyway, if you really think about that, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day.
Did you have that lonely feeling when you first came? Or did you have friends built in already?
No, you know what? When I came to the U.S., I didn't know anybody.
No.
I didn't know anybody. But
Wow.
I'm like a guy, I like challenges. I don't know why, but I like that. Seriously, I don't know why. Maybe.
I could tell.
Really? No, but I kind of like that because it motivates me to just get to the point where I want to be. I think that's just me. That's how I was raised. You know, you have to have that kick or whatever. But you know, the interesting thing is, I feel like you have to be open and you have to communicate. So I'm really trying to talk to anybody. I don't mind who it is, how he looks like. I respect everybody, right? So and if you're a good person, I like you. If you're not a good person, I don't like you. That's fine. That's good for me. But I think still at the end of the day, I mean, we live in LA, right? And we have to talk about that. You know, LA is all about entertainment.
Yeah.
And a lot of people come to LA for the main reason is to make it happen in the entertainment industry, right? If it's acting, music, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like the entertainment industry is a very interesting topic because you can know a lot of people and a lot of people know you, but that doesn't mean that you're always with them.
That's true.
So that means you still maybe sometimes feel lonely or just by yourself, even if you know 5,000 people in this town. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this industry is very interesting. So I have good people, but for me, what's more important is not the amount of people, but who do I really trust?
But the quality.
Who do I trust? If you really ask yourself, also people at home, who do you really trust in your life?
Yeah.
That's the main question for me because trust is, for me personally, in our world today, a big issue.
Yeah.
Who can you trust?
That's true.
And that episode even shows me, I think she had a problem to open up and just trusting people.
Yeah, and so much of that is contextual, right? So much of that is how she was raised. Of course, it's going to be hard to trust people and let people in if you went on a boat ride and the next thing you know, your parents are handing you off to somebody else.
True.
You know, that's a tough thing. I wonder for you, especially considering the context of how you grew up and you're saying about how you lost your mom at a young age.
Yeah.
How do you think that will affect you as you move forward and parent? When you become a father, how do you think
That's very interesting.
those experiences will affect you?
That's a very good question.
lose your mom
Seriously.
young.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Yeah.
I'm asking myself the same thing.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I'm an only child on top of that.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, if I lost my mom very early, I'm an only child. So, you know, and my dad and I were never really that close. I really have to say that. You know, it is how it is.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it is.
So, and I just felt like, okay, my mom is gone. No, I have to make it happen. You know, I just have one life. I just, you know, want to prove myself. That's always the most important thing. I want to prove myself. And I think she tried the same, by the way. I tried the same. She wanted to prove herself, you know what, even that he's gone, I can make it work. I can make it work with my family. I can raise these two kids on my own. I do it exactly how I feel like this is the right way.
Yeah.
And that's how she did it. That's what we see with the snacks in the car and the soup and the stuff.
Yep, doing the soup, the whole thing.
And you know what? For me personally, I was like, you know what? I definitely want to become a dad. And I'm always trying to remember the things that how I was raised. And I'm just like, you know what? I like that part. I like that part. I didn't like that much. Now I'm trying to just take all the things and hopefully finding my partner in life. And becoming.
Is this you putting on blast that you're single again?
Oh, I'm single, yeah. Hi.
Nice.
Anyway, but seriously.
But I could see you.
Thank you, Ryan.
I could see you having that great relationship, trying to do like your mom did, and
Yeah,
and have that good talking, good communication in the relationship and stuff.
My mom was always like, just on a very quick note, in general, but I mean that in general. If I'm becoming a dad, and I hope I'm becoming a dad, it's because becoming a dad for men, I have friends my age, they're already a dad 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm a fucking lady, you know?
No, you got plenty of time. Men have kids until they're 80. Like, give me a break.
Really? That's awesome.
Jeff Goldblum is
65
That's
and true. That's true. But what I just wanted to say is very quickly is that if I'm becoming a dad, what I really want to do is like, if my kid has a dream, and I really mean that, and America even showed me that even more. If you have a dream, if your kid has a dream, and you see, oh my God, he has a talent for something, I would help my kid. I will support him no matter what. To where the kid want to be if he's happy about it.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that because I feel like a lot of parents maybe they don't even pay attention to their kid's talent.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like that's a strong theme that runs through Little America, that runs through this anthology series.
Totally.
Is your immigrant parents sacrificing so their children can have a better
totally.
life. And also, even if some of the stories don't have children in it, then they're all about the immigrants that we're watching having a dream and then working super hard to achieve that dream.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's I feel like that's why it's great immigrant stories, right? That's why it's great storytelling.
For sure, because you really have to think about it, and we see it in all the episodes. They're having so many different backgrounds, and I think it's an extreme contrast coming to America. I mean, you have also maybe more conservative areas in America, right?
Sure.
Where it's maybe the Midwest, I would say, is maybe a little bit more conservative than the coast cities and towns, right? But I feel in general, you have to say America is the country of freedom in a way, you know, seriously.
Sure.
So if you have a great idea, if you're smart enough and you really want to make it work and you work your ass off, you can make your dream come true in America. That's where the American dream comes from.
That is where the American dream comes
Seriously,
from.
I think that's why a lot of people are so attracted to America because you can make it work, you know? You know, but there's
some caveats, but yes,
of course,
I agree with the theme.
Let me put it that way. If it's not going to work out, though, if it's not going to work out, and you don't really get to the point, you know, maybe it would have been better where I'm from. Who knows? People always ask me, Ben, why did you leave Germany? Are you crazy? Why did you leave Germany? Hello. And people always ask me that because we're economically strong, blah, 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 you know, all that stuff, right? But I say, hey, but for me personally, I have this dream right now. And I want to fulfill that dream. And I feel I can do that more in the U.S. than in Germany.
There you go.
Right? But when we talk about like education, health system and stuff like that, maybe there are some things that are a little different where I'm from. And maybe I would say, hey, if it's about that, maybe it would have been better in Germany.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons, you know?
So I feel like moving from that, that the producer of this episode was a lot like you. He had a dream and he went after it. This episode, I don't know if you guys remember the tag at the end. It's basically a tribute to his mom. So this episode is partly autobiographical. It's about his mom and his mom's experience, which made it even the more interesting when you see, you know, her do like embarrassing stuff to him when she was like, you need to put sunscreen on. You know how your acne flares up while he's in the pool with girls?
Right,
and
exactly.
the girls are like, ugh.
Exactly.
You know, it's like all of those funny moments that are pieced together in great moments from his childhood. I think that are probably a little autobiographical. And so I wanted you to go ahead with our special segment and tell us a little more about the producer. Producer Corner.
Ta-da! No, for sure. And I did a little bit of research, and his name is Si Chun. I hope I said it correctly. I mean, if you're watching it right now, please tell us if I said that right. Si Chun, born actually Se Nyo Jun.
Okay.
Right? So maybe because of the U.S., they kind of shorten it. That's what Asian people sometimes do, or someone who was even born in the U.S. as like with Asian heritage. And he was born in Chicago, so he is born and raised American, obviously, right? And we see that also in what I liked about him. As you say, he was basically trying to show like the perspective of his mom, but also from his point of view at the end of the day. Because the kid that we see, the son that we see, that's him.
Wow,
that's the guy.
Him.
So he directed his own life, basically.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal, right? I really love that. If you have the chance as a director, as a producer, to talk about your own life story.
Right.
Wow, come on. And he's capturing it so well, even about the scenario when the mom comes into the hotel room and feeling this kind of loneliness. The way how he captured that, from a directing perspective, just beautiful. I felt this loneliness even within myself. So, but the thing about him is, like, I just researched him a little bit. He's a director. He's a screenwriter himself.
Oh, wow.
And he already had his debut feature film coming out. It's called Children of Invention in 2009 already. So he's in the business for a while already.
Yeah.
He's just 39, by the way. He's not even like that old. He's 39. He's just a couple years older than me. And he basically premiered that at the 2009 Sundance Film Festival. And he won bunch of, he won 17 festival awards, including 8 grand jury awards of Best Narrative.
Oh, wow.
Feature prize, including Best Narrative
Ryan's
Feature.
throwing it up for us
and
right
the
now, too.
Newport International Film Festival as well. There you go. Perfect.
Awesome.
Very interesting. And he also is a producer on TV shows. For example, Gotham, that we all know.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not an unknown person, right?
Yeah.
So he's doing a lot of stuff already. And I mean, what we saw in this episode, I think is just a glimpse of what he's able to do. So I wish and I hope that this guy, so Chun, if you're watching this right now, please do a lot more of those, because I really felt the intensity of the scenes, of all the scenes, right?
He directed it and wrote it too,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not sure if you're watching this or I'm talking to him directly, the cast, honestly, beautiful cast.
Yeah,
the cast was very well done.
Yeah.
The mom's acting was really good.
Wasn't she
on
amazing?
point. I was like this. I can't even describe it. I just believed her, right? And the son and the daughter too, because with
especially
kids,
for teenagers, they did great.
with kids, sometimes you never know. I mean, no offense about kids, but with kids, it's a hit or miss sometimes. You have kids, sometimes they're very good at acting. They just got it down naturally. And some kids, they still have to develop themselves. But the cast was just amazing. I believed every second.
Yeah,
So-
agreed.
so
It was
thank you,
just
Sejun.
just an overall great story. So we're so
sure.
excited that we got to cover grand prize winners. Catch us next time, and we'll be covering the next episode in Little America.
Sure.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.